Many experts believe that a serious recession is likely to arise. The Federal Reserve will probably increase interest rates to further slow the economy since inflation is still on the upswing. We just might easily enter a true recession if the economy declines dramatically. From the stock market to the labor market, a recession can impact a large number of individuals. Even though the thought of a recession can be unsettling, it's essential that you keep your cool. This is merely a phase of the economic cycle. While most of us will experience the agony of a recession, there are steps you can do to get ready. Hey, welcome to Stock Market Mate. For today's video, we'll look at how you can survive a recession so you can feel more confident about your finances. Before we get into it, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to help us beat the YouTube algorithm. If you're done with that, then let's get right into it. Impacts of a recession. Many consumers are curious about how a potential recession could affect them personally. Quite simply, a recession is a severe economic slowdown. Due to businesses' need to adapt to drop in consumer spending, a recession may result in job loss or employment concerns. When there is less money in the economy, there is less of a desire for luxury goods, and people are more cautious about spending money beyond what is absolutely necessary. The potential for a sharp rise in unemployment is the worst-case scenario for a recession. By increasing the cost of borrowing money, the Fed slows down consumption, hiring, and wage growth. This implies that you risk losing all your income or having your financial incentives at work removed. Although this is not good news, we must face the facts as they stand. The good news is that a recession has not yet been declared for this economic cycle. Some might argue that the economy is stagnant and that a recession is on the horizon. That simply means that you must be ready for the worst-case scenario because it is impossible to predict how the battle against inflation will pan out. How to survive a recession. We already experienced the repercussions of rising expenses, from basic purchases like food to mortgage rates, so there is no point in sugarcoating the effects of a recession. Let's discuss it right away. Here's how to survive a recession. Number 1. Start preparing for a potential job loss. Representatives from the central bank have made it clear that rate increases may result in job losses, which would be an economic disaster. We don't want to scare you, but even if the labor market has held up, it's essential to keep in mind that if you're not in a recession-proof industry, you can lose your job. If businesses aren't making enough money, they'll be forced to make layoffs. This indicates that you should consider doing the following steps. Prepare a resume. This could be the ideal opportunity to update your resume if you haven't given it a thorough polish in a while. Keep in touch with your network. The best time to start interacting with friends in your network and updating your LinkedIn profile would be right now. Create an emergency fund. You should have emergency funds set aside. If you're still working, you should put away as much money as you can. Always remember that one of the key instruments in your financial toolbox is an emergency fund. Search for new opportunities. You should keep an eye out for other positions you could apply for if you think that your employer might be forced to make layoffs due to the current economic conditions. Number 2. Practice a new skill. This can be the ideal time to work on developing a new skill or consider a career change. It is said that education improves income. During this difficult economic time, you may concentrate on learning a new talent that would allow you to earn more money. Consider developing a marketable skill, like writing or graphic design if you lack the time or means to go back to school. Even when the economy is struggling, many skills are still lucrative. Number 3. Find ways to save money. According to a popular saying, inventions are born out of necessity. Financial difficulties are rarely glamorous, but there are still numerous inventive ways to save money so that you're equipped financially. You must identify strategies to reduce expenses during a recession in order to be ready for a possible loss of income. Delaying a significant purchase or hunting for deals are 2 ways to start saving money. You might want to consider eliminating one fixed expense from your budget, like a streaming service or any other service that you rarely use. Number 4. Consider diversifying your income. If your work isn't a recession-proof sector, one of the riskiest things you can do during a downturn is to rely solely on one source of income. You can take advantage of this chance to try to apply for a side job, or to diversify your sources of income so that you have a few to rely on. In order to have several sources of income to safeguard yourself and your family, you can apply for a part-time job or attempt something in the gig economy. Number 5. Be debt-free. When you know that a recession is coming, the first thing to do is pay off your credit card loans. You cannot possibly pay off other debts like mortgages and homes, but you should try to be as debt-free as possible. While paying off debt is always a wise move, it becomes even more powerful when a recession is on the horizon, since so much can change during a recession, including your employment situation and your ability to make money. You can feel like the slope is slippery. You can end up getting into greater debt by using credit cards to pay for necessities if you don't have an emergency fund or don't have enough money saved up in one. Because of this, it's crucial to ensure you have as much cash on hand. Experts recommend paying down debts and not taking on new ones because no one wants to be caught with mounting interest payments in the event of an emergency, salary setback, or job loss, says Catherine Salisbury of Capital. Number 6. Don't panic. While many investors will liquidate their holdings in order to obtain cash, you should pause before doing so. It will be tempting to think of liquidating everything when you watch the value of your investment portfolio decline every day. The issue with this is that you're probably selling at a loss. Additionally, it is not advised that you sell your stocks out of temporary panic or uncertainty. If you have faith in the businesses or funds you've invested in, you don't want to act hastily and end up paying the price afterward. When there is a lot of inflation, stock markets crash and people start selling their assets in a frenzy. When the market is experiencing fear, the volatility causes erratic swings. Any news, whether favorable or unfavorable, may trigger an immediate response. Although it will be challenging, try your best not to panic if you don't require the cash for immediate needs. Consider the stock market changes that took place at the time the pandemic first started. A few months later, a lot of investors lost out on enormous returns as a result of their panic. Number 7. Invest in technology. It's tempting to view a recession as an opportunity to play it safe and shut down the hatches. The adoption of new technology, however, actually seems to be enhanced by downturns. You must be wondering why companies invest in technology during a recession when money is tight. According to economists, this is due to the fact that their opportunity cost is lower than it would be in periods of growth. An organization has every motivation to create as much as possible when the economy is strong. If it diverts resources to invest in new technologies, it may be leaving money on the table. However, when there are fewer customers wanting to purchase your product, operations do not need to run at full speed, freeing up operating resources to support IT initiatives without hurting sales. Because of this, implementing technology during a recession seems to be less expensive. Is it wise to invest during a recession? A recession is a typical aspect of the economic cycle. Therefore, you shouldn't use it as an excuse to avoid making investments. There are certain sectors that are recession-proof, such as consumer goods, utilities, and healthcare. Not all sectors are affected equally. A recession could officially be declared by 2023 according to some analysts, while others think we might just avoid one. In either case, you must take all reasonable steps to get your finances, as well as your career, ready for even worse circumstances. If we narrowly dodge a recession, you may rest easy knowing that you've organized your money and are prepared to face this difficult period. How to get through a recession like a champ. Do you know what Netflix, Lego, Microsoft, and Apple have in common? After recessions, they have all emerged as more resilient businesses. What does this demonstrate? It proves that if you know how to endure a recession, you might prosper on the other side of it. And that's about it for today's video. If you find our content helpful, kindly click the like and subscribe button. Also, you might want to leave a comment below. We love hearing from you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
If you enjoyed this video, you're going to want to watch one of these two videos right here. Enjoy!